Have you ever felt like time slips away in the blink of an eye? One moment you close your eyes, and the next, it feels as though the years have rushed past, leaving behind the undeniable marks of aging. But pause for a second. Do you really believe that time alone is what makes us grow old? The truth is, it's not just time, it's also the small, harmful habits we repeat every single day. Little things we often dismiss as harmless are quietly wearing down our energy, our health, and even our clarity of mind. Stoic philosophy has long reminded us to focus only on what truly matters and not to waste our strength on trivialities. It teaches that peace of mind comes from learning how to prioritize. But let me ask you this. Have you genuinely paid attention to the most important thing in your life, your own well-being? Perhaps it's time to stop brushing off those harmless habits that are, in reality, stealing away your youth, your health, and your joy. It's time to recognize them and let them go before they take more than you're willing to lose. Let me tell you a story to make this clearer. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a young man named Andres. He was a dedicated farmer, well known in the region for his hard work and his bountiful harvests. Yet, despite his youthful face, his eyes and body already carried the weight of exhaustion, as though he had lived through many long, difficult years. One afternoon, as Andres was toiling away in his fields, an old wise man approached him and gently said, "My son, I see the weight of many years resting on your shoulders, even though you are still so young. You've taken on far too many burdens and forgotten that your body also needs care and rest." The words startled Andres. He sat down and began to reflect. It was true his days were consumed entirely by endless labor. From sunrise to sunset, he rarely gave himself a moment to breathe. His meals were rushed, he never drank enough water, and his sleep was constantly cut short by nights of worry about his crops. And when fatigue overcame him, he leaned on coffee, sugar, and stimulants just to push through. The old man listened quietly, then nodded with kind eyes and said, "Those habits are like drops of water falling onto stone. At first they seem harmless, but over time, they carve deep marks that cannot be erased. Skipping rest, neglecting your body, relying on things that give you only temporary energy, these will slowly drain you. They will make you older before your time. If you don't change, your youth will slip away silently, and you won't even realize it until it's gone." Hearing this, Andres looked puzzled and asked, "So what should I do to change my life?" The old man smiled gently and replied in a calm voice, "Listen to your body and care for it the way you tend to your fields. Sleep is the season of planting. Healthy food is the fertilizer that enriches the soil, and water is the flowing stream that sustains life. When you plant good habits, you'll harvest health, clarity, and joy." From that day forward, Andres began making small but steady changes. He allowed himself to sleep enough, drank more water, cut back on sugar and stimulants, and nourished his body with proper meals. Over time, the villagers noticed the transformation. His eyes sparkled with vitality, his skin looked healthier, and his spirit grew brighter. He was no longer the weary farmer, but a man full of life and energy. Through this journey, Andres discovered an important truth. Small habits, though seemingly harmless, can slowly drain both body and soul if ignored. Just as a tree needs water and care to grow strong, we too must nurture and protect ourselves every single day. Only when we understand this can we live fully, sustainably, and stand strong against the flow of time. There are hidden habits quietly draining our energy, eroding our health, and wearing down our spirit without us even noticing. They weave into our daily lives, appearing harmless at first, but over time, they become the silent reason our bodies weaken. That's why, before we dive into the first lesson, if you find this message valuable, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because these insights might just help you change your own life. So, let's begin with one of the most crucial factors of all: sleep. Have you ever wondered why coffee has become such a miracle drug around the world? It's because we live in a society obsessed with productivity, where sleeping less than 8 hours is worn like a badge of honor, proof of ambition, hard work, and determination. But behind that glittering facade lies a ticking time bomb: sleep deprivation. It doesn't just wreck your health, it also accelerates aging, leaving you looking and feeling older and more exhausted than your actual years. When you sleep, your body enters a construction zone of renewal. Cells repair, tissues rebuild, and your immune system grows stronger. It's when an invisible crew works tirelessly to create a healthier version of you. But if you cut short your rest, that crew can't finish its job. The result? You wake up with dark circles under your eyes, dull skin, early wrinkles, and a lingering sense of fatigue. Skipping sleep is like throwing a party in a tiny, crowded room without enough space. Chaos is inevitable. So why do we fall into this trap? Beyond the annoying alarm clock, the culprits are familiar. Staying up late to binge shows, scrolling endlessly through social media, or grabbing your phone to check meaningless notifications. Add to that the buckets of caffeine consumed as if tomorrow will never come, and together you've created the perfect recipe for becoming an early edition zombie. But don't worry, there's a way to fix this. Start by creating a steady rhythm for your body. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even as on weekends. Turn your bedroom into a quiet, dark, and cool sanctuary, a true refuge of peace, not a light show circus. Close the curtains, shut off all electronics, and if necessary, use earplugs or an eye mask to help you fall into deeper sleep. Another key principle: avoid looking at your phone screen at least an hour before bed. Let the online world sleep for the night because no headline, notification, or meme is more important than your health. Instead, try light meditation, journaling, or reading a favorite book. These simple rituals are like tickets to a deep, restorative sleep that heals both body and mind. Stoic philosophy reminds us that even in the middle of a storm, we can find calm within ourselves. Apply that same wisdom to your evening routine. Every time you feel proud of pulling an all-nighter to work, remember this: your body is filing an official complaint. It's warning you that you're speeding up the aging process. And sadly, life doesn't come with a reset button. That's why you need to care for yourself today before it's too late. In this game we call life, challenges and mistakes are inevitable. But my friend, listen carefully. True wisdom doesn't only come from hours of hard work. It also grows out of the moments you give yourself to rest and sleep well. A good night's sleep is one of the greatest rewards. Your body craves a reset that allows you to feel gratitude and truly enjoy what you already have. Have you ever felt like a circus juggler? Each ball you keep in the air represents responsibilities, skills, work, and daily worries. Stress has become an unwelcome companion in modern life, as common as the smell of morning coffee or the ping of your phone at midnight. But here's the truth: stress doesn't just crease your forehead, it also accelerates sagging skin and premature aging. The reason lies in stress hormones, especially cortisol. When you're under pressure, your body releases cortisol, adrenaline, and epinephrine to sharpen your focus, regulate blood pressure, and fend off infection. In short bursts, these hormones are powerful allies, but when they linger too long, they turn into silent saboteurs, speeding up aging, dehydrating your skin, breaking down elasticity, and leaving you looking like you've been sleep-deprived for weeks. Even scarier, stress doesn't only come from major life crises. It hides in seemingly harmless choices. Staying up late to binge-watch shows, soothing sadness with ice cream, or skipping exercise because the couch feels too comfortable. These tiny habits quietly steal your youth and health day by day. The good news? The solution is closer than you think. It's called meditation and mindfulness. Many people think meditation belongs only to monks in distant monasteries, but in reality, you can start right at home. Just a few minutes each day, sitting quietly in a peaceful corner, closing your eyes, breathing in calm, and exhaling tension can transform you. Picture it as your own small oasis in the chaotic desert of life. On top of that, build a solid skincare routine, use the right moisturizer, apply sunscreen daily to protect collagen, and consider supportive treatments like topical antioxidants or professional care if needed. But don't overlook the psychological side of things. Breaking an old habit takes determination and strategy. You might need professional guidance, a support group, or even alternative methods to gradually step away from nicotine. Philosophy can help too. The Stoics valued self-control and living by reason, a mindset that fits perfectly when you're trying to take ownership of your body. Be intentional. Every cigarette you refuse, every glass of water you drink instead, is a step toward rebuilding your long-term health and appearance. At the end of the day, lasting beauty doesn't come from quick thrills. It comes from the daily choices that nurture your well-being. So, will you keep clinging to the illusion that a little smoke won't hurt, or will you start owning your future by protecting your skin, staying hydrated, eating smart, exercising regularly, and if possible, saying goodbye to cigarettes? Your skin will thank you for years to come. We've all heard about the importance of water, yet in the rush of modern life, many of us ignore that simple truth. Too often we get caught up in work, scrolling through social media, or binging a television series and forget something as basic as pouring ourselves a glass of water. But hydration isn't just about quenching thirst in the moment. It's a vital part of keeping both your body and your skin alive and thriving. Think of your skin as a tree. When watered properly, it grows strong, vibrant, and full of life. Leave it dry, and it quickly wilts. Our bodies work the same way. Without enough water, cells can't get the nutrients they need, toxins aren't flushed out efficiently, and the result is dry, dull, less elastic skin. Put simply, skipping water is like turning your own body into a waste dump. Health experts are clear. Adult men should drink around 3 liters of water per day, roughly 12 cups, while women need about 2.2 liters, around 8-9 cups to stay balanced. Yet studies show most of us don't even hit half that amount. Busy schedules, combined with swapping water for coffee, milk tea, or soda, slowly push our bodies into a hidden state of dehydration, like a desert quietly spreading inside us. The solution, however, is refreshingly simple. The key is to turn drinking water into a natural part of your daily rhythm. Start by always keeping a bottle with you, treating it as your personal reminder. Build small rituals. A glass before starting work, another after finishing a task, or the very first thing when you wake up. That way, water stops being a reaction to thirst and becomes a natural daily ritual. And if plain water feels boring, make it fun. Add a few slices of lemon, sprigs of mint, or cucumber to turn a simple glass into a refreshing mocktail without sugar or alcohol. Not only will it encourage you to drink more, but it will also add a boost of vitamins and natural antioxidants to your body. At the end of the day, remember a simple Stoic principle. We can't control everything, but we can act within the circle of what's in our power. You might not be able to erase every trace of fatigue from your face after a long day, but you absolutely can choose to drink an extra glass or two of water. These small, consistent steps add up, and over time, they lead to big changes. Brighter skin, more energy, and a sharper mind. Drinking water isn't just about quenching thirst, it's a form of daily self-care. And often, it's the simplest habits that turn out to be the key to staying healthy, youthful, and confident. From the outside, skipping water might look like a harmless little habit, but behind that carelessness lies a serious consequence. Dehydration is one of the fastest tracks to premature aging. If you truly care about your health and your skin, hydration shouldn't be optional, it should be a daily priority. Think of your body as a sacred temple. For a temple to stand strong through the years, it needs constant care, cleaning, and upkeep. Neglecting water is like letting that temple crumble, cracks begin to form, and its natural beauty fades away. Pause for a moment and reflect. Life itself is like water. If we don't respect and nourish it, it will slowly evaporate before we even realize it. Another companion worth talking about in modern life is caffeine. That morning cup of coffee can feel like a magic potion, instantly waking you up, filling you with energy, and giving you the strength to face a hectic day. Some people even believe they can't start their morning without it. But as much as caffeine feels like a friend, it can also turn into a double-edged sword. Too much caffeine, instead of sharpening your focus, can leave you jittery, with a racing heart, anxious thoughts, and restless energy. You think you're unlocking superpowers, but your body is actually paying the price with imbalance. Picture yourself as a sports car. Caffeine is the fuel, The right amount helps you glide smoothly down the road, but overload the tank and the engine strains, the system becomes unstable, and sooner or later it leads to a crash. The Stoics often emphasize that happiness lies in moderation. The same holds true for caffeine. 1 or 2 cups a day can be beneficial, providing antioxidants, boosting alertness, and improving productivity. But go beyond that, and the positives quickly flip into burdens your body has to carry. So instead of treating coffee as an inseparable best friend, start seeing it as a tool, a flavor enhancer in life. It's nice to have, but never something to lean on too heavily. Pair proper hydration with moderate caffeine use, and you've got a formula for long-term health, clear focus, and youthful skin. At the end of the day, everything needs a limit. Too little water leaves your body dried out. Too much caffeine turns alertness into anxiety. Balance, that's the real way to take control of your life. Modern research makes it clear the human body shouldn't handle more than 2 servings of caffeinated drinks per day. If you love pure coffee, organic green tea, or a bold cup of black tea, good news. These are not only common, but also beneficial choices. But like every good story, caffeine has its boundaries too. Ignore those guidelines and let yourself drift in a sea of coffee, and chaos isn't far behind. Imagine your body as a hamster running endlessly on a wheel. Your heart races, your mind spins, and anxiety shows up uninvited. That fleeting buzz of energy gets traded for restlessness, and that's the true cost of caffeine overuse. But don't worry, every problem comes with a solution. The most important step is learning to set limits. Think of the 2 cups a day rule as a discipline exercise, very much in line with Stoic philosophy, turning down short-term cravings for long-term gain. If you notice yourself leaning too heavily on coffee, maybe it's time for a serious conversation with yourself. There's another golden rule worth keeping in mind. Avoid caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime. It's not complicated, just a simple but powerful hack. Often, your body doesn't really need another cup of coffee. It needs a few minutes of sunlight on a walk or a slow breathing exercise to calm your nervous system. These practices give you lasting alertness without the jitters. If you feel caught in the caffeine whirlwind, try exploring alternatives. A glass of cold water, a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, or even fresh juice can refresh you just as well. At first, it may feel like giving up an old friend, but remember, sometimes moving forward means letting go of habits that hold you back. Caffeine, when you look at it closely, isn't really an enemy, but it's not a perfectly loyal friend either. It's simply a tool. Use it wisely, and it supports you. Abuse it, and it pushes back. The secret is this: you should be the one holding the cards, not caffeine. When enjoyed in moderation, caffeine can absolutely be an ally, helping you reap its benefits without suffering the downsides. The Stoics often reminded us, balance is the key to life. So next time you feel tempted by the thought, one more cup won't hurt, pause and ask yourself, is that fleeting pleasure worth trading for fatigue, anxiety, or a restless night? Marcus Aurelius once wrote that true strength doesn't come from what you own or consume, it comes from knowing when to say, that's enough. But beyond coffee, there's another silent enemy that's even more dangerous: a sedentary lifestyle. Have you noticed how your living room couch has slowly become your best friend? Those nights spent lounging, scrolling endlessly, binge-watching shows, snacking while daydreaming about a better version of yourself. On the surface, it feels harmless, but in reality, it's quietly stealing your youth and your health. Think of it this way. Just 45 minutes of movement a day is like buying yourself a time travel ticket back to a stronger, more energized body. The human body is a lot like a classic vintage car. With regular care, cleaning, and tune-ups, it keeps its shine and runs smoothly. Ignore it. Let the dust build up. The paint peel and the engine rust, and you'll be stuck with massive repair bills. Your muscles, joints, and circulatory system follow the same rule. A sedentary lifestyle is a clever thief of time. It ages you faster, turns your once fluid steps into sluggish shuffles, and before you know it, you're carrying yourself like a tired uncle or auntie instead of the vibrant version of you that you deserve to be. Health experts agree. 45 minutes of daily movement, whether it's brisk walking, yoga, jogging, or even jump rope, is one of the best-kept secrets to staying youthful and slowing down aging. And before you imagine it as some kind of grueling marathon, remember this: your body doesn't need punishment. It just needs consistency, day in and day out. Here's the good news. Staying young and strong doesn't require you to become a gym rat or a professional athlete. The real secret is finding an activity you genuinely enjoy. It could be lifting weights to build strength, dancing in your living room to your favorite playlist, or simply taking a walk outside while listening to an inspiring podcast. What matters isn't copying someone else's routine, it's finding joy in movement. Among many options, strength training is often seen as one of the most effective tools against aging. And no, you don't need to turn into the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. A pair of light, dumbbells, or even just your own body weight with push-ups, planks, or squats can transform your strength, endurance, and physique. Always remember, the goal of exercise is to challenge your body, not to punish it. The Stoics once taught that self-control and discipline are the foundation of a lasting life. So why not apply that principle to your daily movement? When you find an activity you love, those 45 minutes stop feeling like a burden and start becoming your sacred space, a time to recharge your energy and rediscover your joy. If you're still unsure, just think about the cost of maintaining a sedentary lifestyle. It doesn't just make you age faster, it also raises your risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and a host of other dangerous conditions. The heart, at its core, is no different than the engine of a classic car. If you neglect it, it will break down and quit running much sooner than you expect. Just a few minutes of light activity each day, brisk walking, biking, yoga, or dancing, can create a huge difference. The next time you're tempted to binge one more episode or sit scrolling on your phone for hours, remember, your body is craving movement. 45 minutes of exercise isn't a sacrifice, it's an act of love and self-care. In the end, inactivity is a guaranteed road to aging and disease, while consistent movement is the key to staying youthful, strong, and living a fuller life. So stand up, roll your shoulders back, stretch your body, and give yourself the priceless gift of movement. The first thing I want to emphasize is this: knowing how to take care of your body is the foundation of living a fulfilling life. If you neglect it, no one else can step in and do it for you the right way. Your body is the only home you truly own, and keeping it healthy is a personal responsibility that cannot be outsourced. Among the small habits that seem harmless but quietly wreak havoc, sugar is one of the most common and addictive culprits. Let's be honest, sweetness always feels comforting. A slice of cake, a piece of candy, or a cup of bubble tea can spark instant happiness. But like a guest who overstays their welcome, sugar slowly turns into an unwelcome burden on your health if left unchecked. Have you ever wondered, could just a handful of sweets really damage your future? The answer is yes. Sugar can wreak havoc on your skin, directly harm your health, and slowly erase the youthful version of yourself. From a scientific perspective, consuming too much sugar can trigger inflammation and acne, and that's not just a rumor. Those unexpected breakouts could very well be the direct result of that donut or soda you mindlessly enjoyed. But it doesn't stop there. Sugar is a master of disguise. It binds to critical proteins like collagen and elastin through a process called glycation. When this happens, your skin loses its firmness, sags, and wrinkles appear earlier than they should. In other words, eating too much sugar is like throwing yourself an early birthday party for aging. And the damage isn't just skin deep. Your heart is also at risk. Sugar is one of the leading drivers of high cholesterol and cardiovascular disease, serious conditions that can cut your life short. If you've ever brushed off cholesterol as just medical jargon doctors use to scare you, it's time to reconsider. The truth is, the sugar you consume daily may be the very doorway opening you up to hidden risks. This doesn't mean you have to completely eliminate sweetness from your life. The real challenge is learning how to manage it, knowing when to stop, and choosing healthier alternatives. I'm not here to make you feel guilty about every slice of cake or every cup of bubble tea you've enjoyed in the past. Instead of dwelling on guilt, What really matters is finding practical solutions to help you control your daily sugar intake. You might think cutting out the spoonful of sugar in your morning coffee or skipping a can of soda is enough, but the truth is far more complicated. Sugar doesn't just show up in obvious desserts, it hides in all kinds of processed foods, from bottled sauces and sandwich bread to fast food that seems harmless at first glance. With scientific-sounding names like sucrose, fructose, maltose, or high fructose corn syrup, sugar sneaks into your diet like a food ninja, silently waiting for the right moment to sabotage your health. So, what can we do? Start becoming a food detective. Each time you shop, don't just fall for pretty packaging or catchy slogans. Take a few extra seconds to actually read the nutrition label. When you spot products overloaded with hidden sugars, cut them out of your kitchen with confidence. That's not just an act of protecting your health, it's a declaration that you're taking ownership of your body. You can also try swapping out refined sugar for more natural options. Raw honey, coconut sugar, or stevia. These alternatives still satisfy your sweet tooth, but they're much kinder to your skin and your heart. Trust me, your body will thank you for making the switch in the long run. This is also where a little Stoic philosophy comes in handy. Learn to separate what's truly necessary from what's just a fleeting desire. Sugar delivers instant pleasure, but it can also steal your health and youth bit by bit. Moderation is the key. Every time you say no to an unnecessary pastry, you're writing a heroic chapter in your own story. After all, life is already too short for us to accelerate aging with habits that seem harmless on the surface. Remember, every bite you take, every sip you drink is a decision. Either you're moving closer to wisdom and health, or you're letting momentary weakness take the wheel. And finally, there's one factor that often gets overlooked, but it's absolutely essential: joy and laughter. Have you noticed that some days your smile seems to vanish, leaving you drained and tense? A lack of joy doesn't just dim your spirit, it can affect your physical health too. Laugh more, live lighter. That's a natural medicine that keeps you healthier, younger, and happier. The way you choose to see life isn't just about your mindset, it directly impacts your body too. From your cardiovascular system and stress levels to the pace of aging that shows up on your skin. If you believe aging is nothing more than an unchangeable law of nature, it might be time to think again. The Stoic philosophers, though they lived thousands of years ago, left behind timeless lessons that remain surprisingly relevant in our modern world of social media, fast food, and constant pressure to move faster. They emphasize the value of keeping a calm mind in the face of hardship. Picture life as a wide river, sometimes raging with waves and filled with sharp rocks. Instead of complaining about the cold or the danger, they chose to steer their small boats with intention and with a smile. That smile, as modern science now confirms, doesn't just lift your mood, it improves circulation, lowers stress hormones, and can even slow down the aging process, something no so-called miracle anti-aging cream can ever achieve. The truth is, many of us fall into what I call the spiral of seriousness. In it, even the smallest problems get magnified into massive burdens, fueling negative emotions that drain our energy and rob us of joy. Stuck in this spiral, we often forget that sometimes a simple laugh, even laughing at awkward moments or at ourselves, can break the clouds apart. Life was never meant to be perfect. It's full of odd, illogical moments that, when seen through a humorous lens, look more like memorable scenes from a comedy than tragedies. So how do you break free from that heaviness? There are a few simple but powerful practices. First, surround yourself with people who laugh easily and radiate positive energy. A coffee date with funny friends, a lighthearted comedy film, or even a playful game night with family can act as the perfect antidote to gloom. Second, try keeping a laughter journal. It may sound unusual, but jotting down the funny moments you experience each day, even the little ones, can train your mind to seek joy and remind you to take life less seriously. Remember this: the attitude you choose shapes not only your state of mind, but also your health and appearance. When you smile more, you don't just feel happier, you're also giving yourself a priceless gift: youthfulness from the inside out. You might be surprised to realize that sometimes the smallest details in life hold the power to brighten an otherwise ordinary day. When you train yourself to look for these little gems of happiness, whether it's an unexpected compliment, a burst of laughter, or simply a warm cup of tea in the afternoon, your brain gradually learns to recognize and cherish them. Over time, laughter becomes more than just a fleeting reaction. It grows into a healthy habit that nourishes your spirit. Never underestimate the power of training your mind. Practices like meditation or the teachings of Stoic philosophy give us an incredible tool: the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without rushing to judgment. Done consistently, meditation works like a fresh breeze that clears away the mental fog, helping you rediscover calm and uncover the sparks of positivity often buried beneath daily worries. Sometimes all it takes is one deep breath, a relaxed body, a gentle smile, and letting life flow at its natural pace. In the end, don't be too hard on yourself. Learn to live a little lighter, laugh a little more. This isn't just a feel-good slogan, it's a genuine strategy for balance and resilience in a pressure-filled world. Every smile you share is like a small act of rebellion against premature aging. And let's be clear, laughter isn't just a vitamin for the soul, it's a kind of medicine, one with no side effects, no limits on dosage, and benefits that are virtually endless. On the flip side, look at how many people today are caught in the whirlwind of extreme diets. In a society obsessed with speed and instant results, weight loss has been turned into a competition to see who can endure the most suffering. Meal plans that promise lose it fast, keep it off forever. Treat your body as if it were a project that can be chopped, trimmed, and remodeled at will. But here's the real question. What happens once you've pushed yourself to the point of exhaustion? That's when we need to rethink what self-care truly means. Caring for yourself isn't about forcing your body to follow rigid rules. It's about listening to it, respecting its natural rhythm, and embracing moderation. The Stoic philosophers were clear on this. Moderation isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and it's inner strength. Think about it. If you choose a balanced lifestyle instead of punishing, restrictive diets, isn't that the real secret to long-lasting health and peace of mind? If there's one group of people who would raise an eyebrow at fads like intermittent fasting marathons or cutting out entire food groups, it would be the Stoics. To them, moderation was always the core principle. Yet today's extreme diet trends often wear a glamorous disguise, turning their followers into living idols on social media. But behind that curated glow, the body is quietly sounding the alarm. Chasing after harsh diets doesn't earn your body's gratitude. On the contrary, it can send it into shock, and not the kind of shock that comes from a dramatic before and after photo, but the kind that makes you look older than your years, as if you just stepped into an unwanted time machine that fast-forwarded you straight into your 60s. Take a closer look at your skin. It's the most honest mirror of your body. When you gain or lose weight too quickly, your epidermis simply can't keep up. Skin is meant to hug your body like a perfectly fitted glove, but if you force it to stretch and shrink over and over, it loses elasticity, sags, and wrinkles. Think of a balloon. Once it's been fully inflated and then deflated, it never quite returns to its original smooth shape. That's exactly what can happen to your skin when you push it through extreme, rapid transformations. Here's the dilemma. You want to look radiant at your best friend's birthday party, but you don't want people mistaking you for someone who just survived a 10-year trek through the desert. So what's the solution? Once again, Stoic philosophy offers a simple but powerful reminder: choose moderation and practice real self-care. Instead of forcing your body into harsh extremes, why not aim for a lifestyle that's balanced and sustainable? Instead of cutting out entire food groups, learn to listen to your body and give it what it truly needs. Sometimes a piece of good chocolate is worth it so long as it comes with a plate of nutrient-packed salad. The key isn't about strict prohibition, but about learning to adjust your eating rhythm so it satisfies both cravings and nutritional needs. Ultimately, your diet shouldn't feel like a brutal battle. It should be more like a graceful dance between what you enjoy and what you need. When you find that balance, you don't just protect your figure, you preserve your youth, your health, and your joy for the long run. One simple but incredibly helpful practice for understanding your body better is keeping a food journal. Don't just jot down what you eat, include how you feel afterward. your energy levels, even your mood. Over time, you'll start to notice surprising patterns. Some foods leave you energized and happy, while others make you sluggish, heavy, or even irritable. That awareness will help you make smarter choices instead of falling into the exhausting cycle of trial and error diets that only add pressure and fatigue. So the next time you're tempted by promises of instant weight loss, pause and remind yourself, your body isn't a factory assembly line. It's a temple that thrives on patience and love. The Stoics have long taught that moderation is the foundation of a healthy, sustainable life. What good is it to lose a few pounds quickly if the price you pay is poor health, constant fatigue, and the loss of joy? What matters most isn't the cold number flashing on a scale, but how comfortable and confident you feel in your own skin. True happiness will never come from a crash diet. It's built through patience, self-love, and a balanced rhythm of living. Now, let's move to another habit that far too many people neglect: wearing sunscreen every day. Have you ever wondered why most people only remember sunscreen when they're at the beach or on vacation, while the sun itself is present year-round and never takes a day off? Even when you're sipping coffee on the patio or strolling on a cloudy afternoon, UV rays quietly slip in like uninvited guests, slowly but surely damaging your skin. So why not give yourself a simple kind of life insurance for your skin by applying sunscreen every single day? There are no monthly premiums, no complicated paperwork. The only thing you need to remember is to pick a product with at least SPF 30 and use it even on cloudy days. Because just like the challenges of life, sunlight is unavoidable. The difference is, unlike most hardships you can only accept, here you actually can take action to protect yourself. Think of every application of sunscreen as equipping yourself with a shield against premature aging. It's not just a small daily habit, it's a smart, long-term investment in your youth, your health, and your confidence. Imagine sunscreen as carrying an umbrella on a cloudy day. Maybe it won't rain, but by being prepared, you're always in control. Sunscreen works the same way, an invisible armor that guards your skin against the silent attacks of the Sunday. The Stoics believed virtue was the foundation of a good life, so why not apply that same mindset to your skin? Make sun protection a daily ritual, not just an act of self-care, but an investment in your future self. Skip this simple step, and sooner or later, you'll see your skin become rough, dry, and far older looking than your peers, while they continue to appear fresh and youthful, as if they've unlocked the secret to eternal skin. And honestly, do you really want to be the one people whisper about? Wow, they look way older than they are. The truth is, sunscreen isn't complicated. Treat it like brushing your teeth in the morning, just another non-negotiable part of a healthy routine. Yet, so many people either skip it entirely or apply it once and forget that after a couple of hours, the protection fades. That's why reapplying every 2 hours is crucial, especially if you're outdoors, exercising, at the beach, or sweating under intense sunlight. Also, be mindful when choosing the right product. Not every sunscreen feels comfortable. Some leave your skin greasy or sticky, like oil on top of a cheeseburger. Instead, look for lightweight, fast-absorbing formulas, maybe even tinted ones that protect your skin and leave you looking radiant. And don't keep this secret to yourself. Share it with friends and family. Sometimes a simple reminder can spare someone from a future filled with wrinkles, sunspots, and damage they never saw coming. Sunscreen isn't just about preserving appearances, it's an act of love and respect for your body and your long-term health. Many people still believe sunscreen is only necessary for beach days or summer vacations. In reality, that's a dangerous misconception, like skipping vegetables just because you prefer French fries. Your skin is the precious coat that protects your body, and it deserves consistent daily care, not just occasional attention. Be the hero of your own story by protecting your skin from UV damage early on, instead of waiting until the signs show up and wishing you had acted sooner. A smart decision today can help you hold on to tomorrow's youthful glow. Don't forget even Hollywood celebrities, who treat their appearance as their greatest asset, consider sunscreen the very first outfit they put on each day. It's more than a cosmetic, it's a lifestyle. So if you're still hesitating, it's time to make sunscreen as much of a habit as brushing your teeth every morning. The same goes for routine health checkups. Plenty of people think skipping a doctor's visit saves time and makes them feel more free. But that kind of freedom is like a gilded cage, shiny on the outside, but quietly trapping you inside hidden risks. Regular checkups aren't a hassle. They're a lifeline, giving you the chance to spot problems before they turn serious. Studies show these screenings are remarkably effective at detecting early warning signs and boosting your chances of prevention. So, how often should you go? Experts recommend a full checkup at least once every 4 years before the age of 40. Between 40 and 60, when health risks climb more quickly, every 2 years is best. And once you're past 60, treat annual checkups as a non-negotiable appointment, your best safeguard against the surprises of aging. At the end of the day, both applying sunscreen daily and scheduling regular checkups aren't inconveniences, they're acts of love and responsibility toward yourself. Investing just a little time now buys you peace of mind, lasting health, and the freedom to enjoy the road ahead. Here's an added bonus many people overlook. Today, plenty of insurance companies include free routine health screenings as part of their coverage. So if you're shopping for a health plan, make sure it offers this perk. In a world where time slips through our fingers like sand, spending just a few hours caring for your health may be the most valuable gift you could ever give yourself. What's even more concerning than skipping a single doctor's visit are the everyday habits that quietly wear down your health. Modern life is full of temptations. Greasy, fast food, endless work, stress, or those late nights spent binging just one more episode on Netflix. They may seem harmless at first, but each of these small choices is like a thin blade slowly cutting away at your youth and vitality. And every time you decide to skip a medical checkup, you're essentially feeding the monster of neglect. Maybe you've thought, skipping breakfast today won't hurt, or one cigarette isn't a big deal. But those little decisions, when stacked up over time, lead to that familiar panic of Googling symptoms late at night, searching for answers you may not want to find. And as you know, those stories rarely end on a reassuring note. The good news is you can turn things around. Start with small, doable changes. A 30-minute walk each day, eating a proper breakfast instead of skipping it, or just 5 minutes of meditation to reconnect with your breath. Over time, these positive habits not only boost your physical health, but also sharpen your ability to notice the signals your body is sending you. That way, medical checkups shift from being a source of anxiety into a reassuring routine that gives you peace of mind. Remember, life never waits for you to be ready. Ignoring your health and hoping illness will disappear is like wishing the rain would stop just because you hate getting wet. The storm will come regardless. Instead, give your body the same care and patience you put into curating your social media profile. Because health isn't just not being sick, it's a state of balance, wholeness, and true happiness. And often, that begins with those seemingly small but crucial checkups. So the next time you're tempted to skip a health screening or routine exam, pause and remember. The Stoics believed there is no wisdom greater than the ability to foresee risks and prepare for them. That's what gave them the strength to endure life's storms. And the same applies to you. Your health must always be the foundation if you want to build any kind of lasting success. Even Nelson Mandela, one of the most resilient figures of our time, reminded us that only with a healthy body can the spirit soar toward greatness. Don't let medical checkups be something you only think about when it's too late. Treat them as a self-care ritual, an investment in yourself, just like learning, building a career, or nurturing relationships. And if you've stayed with me this far, I invite you to leave a simple comment. Health is the greatest wealth. Because only by acknowledging it can we truly honor and protect it. I'd also love to hear your stories, experiences, or healthy habits that have worked for you. Don't hesitate to share your journey might inspire someone else to make a positive change. And if you found this message valuable, please hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. That's the best way to let YouTube know this content matters and to help spread the message to others. Thank you for taking the time to join me. This is just one small step in our journey toward a healthier, more meaningful life. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring new ways to care for both body and mind so we can live each day to the fullest.